your fearlessness. Hello, welcome. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Barrett.
How are you? I haven't been talking to you at all the last few
No,
minutes.
not at all. You've been ignoring me backstage.
Exactly. Drama. How are you?
Good.
Good. How was your Saturday? Sorry we didn't meet yesterday.
Saturday's been good.
Good.
I took Roy to the dog park. I got some bagels. I got
Ooh.
some praline pecans to snack on.
Ooh,
And yeah,
that's exciting.
I am currently rendering a video. So
Tell us about the video and when will it drop?
it is 54% rendered now. It is a 37-minute long video about how 20 different ways that I brainstorm and come up with story ideas.
Nice.
So,
And considering you've released a series from start to finish, from like the first prompt in what, like 2 months? 3 months.
yeah.
I mean, listen to her, people. She knows things. She knows things about things. Welcome, RC and Richard, JC above, Regina, Anna. Hello, Nick. Hey, Nick, how are you? Yes, go to bed. I just got out of bed. I was in a very long nap before this.
Katie!
Hey, friend, how are ya? Hey, Felicia, good to see ya. JC, hey, I was just texting with JC a little bit. I haven't talked to her in forever. How's everyone doing? Good. Napped. We're ready to go. It's Saturday. We missed Friday because I had a little something I had to do last night, so we bumped it a night.
How dare you have a life?
I know, it's awful. But I sent Laura some photos. I got a new desk, which I desperately needed, and a new what's this called, monitor. So I'm probably going to look the wrong way because I'm not in practice yet of where I should be looking. But Laura created some amazing prompts for us. But before we do that, let me give Laura a chance to do an official intro, plug some things, do all the things, talk about Roy. Go, Laura.
I am Laura Nettles. Somewhere over here, I have a book for spooky season. It's called Tiny Shivers. Well, it came out in May, but it's good for spooky season.
It is.
Yeah, so 101 short stories, drabbles, and flashes. Kind of like what we'll be doing now, but these are horror instead of romance. So, yeah. On the romance front, I have 4 short contemporary romances out on Kindle Unlimited, the Ivy and Bean series. So go check it out. And yeah, I have a bullet journal flip through that just came out today. And tomorrow, my video on my brainstorming story ideas will go live.
Yay! I can't wait. My name is Barrett Laurie. We do this once a week, normally on Fridays, sometimes on Saturdays if things conflict. But I am writing some M for M steamy romances at the moment and having a good time doing it. So this is just a little way to stay fresh and try some new ideas out. I also do AuthorTubers React with Nia the Vixen of Fiction quarterly, and then we have Friendsgiving coming up in November, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Look for that. Writer's Room once a month with Morgan Lee and Tiffany. And then what else do we do? Oh, AuthorTubers Karaoke with Margaret Pennard, second Saturday of the month. And then what did I do today? I laid around, I read. Oh, this was fun. The Powerball or Mega Millions is like $1 billion something right now. So Ricky bought a ticket and sent me houses all day. And we did that thing where I was like, oh, I couldn't possibly live in this $1.6 million trash heap. So anyway, we did that today, which was ridiculous and fun all at the same time.
See, the thing is, if I bought a ticket, I would forget to check back in when they called the numbers.
Well, me too. I mean, Ricky always gets it and checks it and does all of that for us. Like, I can't be bothered to do all that. Good night, Nick. Good seeing you. Give Charlie our best. Yeah. So anyway, if we win, there is a $1.6 million house in town that's just garbage. So I won't have any of you to it because it's just too terrible for anyone to come see. Hey, Morgan. Christian's here. Hey, Christian. Good to see you. So anyway, that's all that. Yay. You're going to get to.
Yay.
Yeah. So anyway, that was fun to kind of pretend for a little bit and dream because like very different budget than what we've looked at houses at. So, hey, Labyrinth, you made it in plenty of time. No prompts have been dropped as of yet. But Laura's got some good ones for us, and let's not delay. We'll get into something. Laura, what do you feel?
So we're starting with the one that can go more melancholy first.
Yes.
So we can get happier later.
Sadness out of the way first this time.
The main character must confess their feelings to their love by midnight, or something tragic will happen.
Okay. I love that. Huh, okay. I have an idea for this. Oh no. Yes, well, that's true. I did tell Ricky we would own a farm. Like that, the problem, one of the problems with the 1.6 was it was in a neighborhood. And I was like, I want pigs, I want horses, I want alpacas. There was all kinds of things I would want if I had ridiculous lottery money. Yeah, we're gonna get angsty in the beginning, and then I'm thinking the second one, we'll see how much time we have. But Laura's newest one, you guys, so good. So good. I mean, they're all good, but I'm partial. All right, so this is our first one. Do you want to do the timer? Because we found out last time that should never be.
You have commercials.
Long ass commercials. Forgot it was my house. I was like, can I say ass? Ass. Yeah. So you want to run the timer? Oh yeah, you have some new ones too. The new one.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what ideas is anyone having? I'm feeling like I'm gonna try.
Do we want to poll people for a time?
Yeah. Let's ask people for a time. Give us a time for how long we're gonna write this one. So I'm trying to think of ideas for this one. The first one that comes to mind, I don't know if I have enough time to make it like land the plane, but I'd love to do like a gay queer Cinderella spin on this because midnight. Can I do that? 13 minutes says I'm gonna need a little more than 13, Alicia, to make some magic happen. Yes, that's right. And my little chunk is sitting by the front door.
He ate the spaghetti already.
Oh, he did? Now he's like, can I have some more?
He ate
garlic
the whole
bread,
thing.
Caesar salad. He's like, come on. That's all I get. Family first type of vibe. I like that. I really like that.
Like fruits basket?
Yeah. Look at this. Mom read my last ones, including the ahem ones. Good. Even moms need a little spice in their life. All right, so JC's with 36.23 and Felicia's 13. Do we want to split the difference and me do some math? Or were you going to add them together? And so be like 49 27? Minutes. Yeah. We'll split the difference.
Close enough.
I love this.
This
is giving me great like Halloween, but then Harry Potter's glasses are there vibe.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Okay.
So are you going with the family curse?
I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get that far. I think what I'm going to try to do is like a queer Cinderella story there, but I'm going to have to open way into the story. So at the ball, you know what I mean? We're going to be ticking down to midnight. And I'm going to just ratchet up what I don't know, family curse. I want it to be more awful than that. Like, I want someone to die at midnight.
Have you read Roald Dahl's variation of Cinderella?
No. Well, wait a minute. What's it called? Maybe.
Is it in Roald Dahl's Revolting Rhymes?
I don't know if I read that.
Sir. But yeah, no, like the ugly stepsisters have like pig noses and they're ugly and they cut off parts of their feet to fit into the slippers. And the prince is like, oh heck no, and like whoop, lobs their heads off. And Cinderella's like, I don't think I want him, and ends up with a jam maker.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna try to go that dark. We'll see. Yeah, I guess. It's the only idea I had, Katie. There's just I have very little talent tonight. Still in the nap mode. Okay, that's my. What are you thinking? Are you sharing ahead of time? Are you going to surprise us on the other side?
I have no idea yet, but I do like the idea of a family curse. So
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. All right. All right, friends. 27 minutes. You know how it works. We're going to see you on the other side. We'll open up our instas. Come up and read with us. Send us your stories. Whatevs.
three,
Write
two,
that
and go.
story. bloody time. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Okay, we had some people pop in, so I'm going to say some hellos while we get caught up. Hey, cool gamer. Welcome, friend. Good to see you. Oh, here's a friend I've not seen in a few moons. Megan McCarthy. Hello. How are you, friend? Self-pub with Andy. Hey, Andy. How are you? Good to see you. Regina Duke. Oh, Ricky. Probably Ricky. Yes. He got home from work. Hi, Nia. How are you? Deidre. Hey, friend. Hope you're feeling better. Sending you love. Margaret Pinard dropped in before the family Zoom. Rode in on a Harley. Felt like I was going to slip right off. Put that in a romance novel. And then Regina said somewhere she was brave, and that's true. Thanks for the good wishes. We're sending you good vibes too, Deidre. Mama Maggie, hey, welcome. And then, hey, JM, how you doing? This is your first prompted, so here's how it works. Our my very talented co-host Laura made an amazing prompt. We throw it up on screen. We do a timer. We do a quick writing to the prompt. If you want to join us on screen, go to Instagram at Barrett_Laurie or Instagram Nettles Animation. Is that right?
.animation.
Nettles.animation. And shoot us a message saying you want to join us. You can either send a Google Doc or put it in the message. If you don't want to come on screen and read, you want to come on screen and read, we'll send you the link to pop up and join us to read your piece. So welcome. Hi, how are you, Lindsay? Welcome for the sprints. There will be quite a few. I know, I feel it on the time, for sure. I had so much more to say in that one. Hey, Victoria, good to see you. Okay, I wrote some things, but it may be a little confusing. I just lost the plot halfway through. Thanks. I kept thinking like, oh, I need more time to like build what I want to say. So yeah. Well, oh, let me open my Instagram. Look at me being a horrible. How did it go for you? How are you feeling about what you wrote? Like,
good. I wrapped it up. 500 words.
Go.
Yay.
That's amazing.
Maggie got 300 words.
Way to go. Oh, I love this prompt, Dolores. Dolores sent me a prompt. We're going to have to use it. So
Kenyan says, OMG, I feel like I needed so much more time.
I know. I did too. Don't feel bad, Katie. I blame partially my new keyboard, which I'm still getting used to. So a little slower. And my husband. So you can blame him too. He was distracting us both. So you got a complete story out of that?
A scene, yeah.
Okay, a scene. Then do you want to go first, since you have a complete scene and I have a jumble of words?
Sure.
Hit us with it. I'll give you a little Briley. Hello. Ma'am, get out of my dress shirts. What's happening?
Dad.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Sorry. Okay.
All right.
Wow.
I had to confess. Walk up to Samson and tell him I loved him. The clock on the bell tower across the street showed it was 10. Oh my gosh. I changed that in the other sentence. 3 minutes to midnight. 3 minutes until the family curse would enact, and I would be transformed. Unless somebody knew I loved them romantically. And that somebody had to love me back. Moonlight trailed through the warped glass windows of the apothecary, glinting off bottles and harvested animal parts, herbs, and ground crystals, and glistening liquids of various hues. As quickly as I could, I made my way around the counter, full yellow skirts swishing against the aged wood. Samson had to be in the back room. Had to be. The master apothecarist had given him an impossible task to complete before dawn. Hello? I called out, turning the knob on the rune-etched door. Samson? Locked. Tears stung my eyes as my fist pounded over and over on the wood. Why was fate so cruel? I had tried to confess to this boy 7 times already, and every time was thwarted. Perhaps I was doubly cursed? Crying, I slid down to the hard stone floor, back against the door. That was it. There was no time to look elsewhere. I was just going to rot, just like my older sister had. A scuffling sound issued from behind the door before it was pulled open wide. I shrieked and fell inside, flat on my back, looking up into those dazzling hazel eyes of my dreams. Samson! His face was stained with sadness as well, glittering tears in the moonlight. Aurora, he asked, what are you? I didn't finish that sentence. What are you doing here? In a flurry of fabric, I righted myself and rose to my feet. Listen, Samson, I don't have much time. Bong. 1. I love you, I cry. My feet begin to ache. Bong. 2. Well, what? Are you? He stutters. The skin of my arm begins to ripple and split. Bong. 3. I love you, Samson, with all my heart. I can feel another reality starting to seep through the new openings in my flesh. Bong. 4. What's happening? He screams, eyes wide, looking at me in horror. Bong. 5. Do you love me back? I cry, trying to keep my shifting vocal cords from cracking. Bong. 6. He looks into my eyes with a mix of emotions I can't quite place. Bong. 7. I wrote all those letters, I confess, knees giving out as my feet unravel. Bong. 8. Smile as bright as the future, he whispers, repeating one of my lines. Bong. 9. Confess, and I'll be saved, I scream, agony taking over my spine as something threatens to escape. Bong. 10. I. Bong. 11. I love you, Aurora, he cries, kneeling next to me on the cold floor. Bong. 12. My skin zips, containing the other dimension back inside. A kiss whispers across my healed lips. I kiss back.
Oh my gosh, this is... Did you finish? Sorry, I just couldn't cut you off. Okay, thank goodness. I thought that was the end. I was like, wait a minute. I love the clock strike. Same as Katie. Same vibes. The tension, yes. 100, yes. Deidre's so glad she made it back. Edge of the seat, so true. Tell her you love her already. Like, you fool. Yes, the anticipation, so good. So good. Yes. Loved, loved, loved. Laura, you nailed it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. You got a big bravo. So nervous.
Yay.
Yes, I was like, huh, is it gonna happen? That was awesome sauce. Okay, I sent you one. I'll read mine real quick, and then you will read Katie Ann's. Anybody else that wants to send one in, don't forget Barrett at Barrett_Laurie and Nettles.animation. Slide into our DMs. Mine isn't complete either, so feel free to go ahead and send. I didn't even get nearly as far as I wanted to. Send it to me, and then I'll read it since Laura's going to read Katie Ann's, and then that way we'll go back and forth and kind of popcorn it. Yes, very good, Laura. That was amazing sauce.
Thanks.
Okay, here is what I spit out in between Ricky's rude interruptions. Okay. His fairy godmother had been clear. They would give Asher the cover he needed to gain entry into the ball, the clothes Asher could never afford, the makeup and hair that would have been well beyond his meager earnings, and most importantly, his name on the list. However, the rest was up to him. He had until midnight to confess his love to Prince Philippe, or else the curse would take hold, advancing his age at a rate of 5 times normal, and the inability to ever know true love. Time was ticking away, and after an hour at this stupid thing, he still hadn't been able to locate Philippe. He knew he had to be here. This whole thing was for him, after all. Asher had politely declined dances with 3 lovely young ladies, and 2 of the most eligible bachelors in the whole kingdom. He didn't mean to be rude, but his FGM wasn't messing around with her offer, and there was just no time to waste on these people. There was a curse to break. Asher was feeling his desperation fade into despair when Queen Ariadne took to the microphone. Thank you all so much for coming. Unfortunately, Philippe is feeling under the weather and won't be in attendance tonight. Please don't let that stop you from having a good time. Shit. Asher glanced down at the Tiffany timepiece that had appeared when his FGM worked her spell. 10:30. He had about an hour and a half to find Philippe, or else he likely wouldn't live to see his 35th birthday. He dashed down the long staircase to the mezzanine level and crossed straight through the dance floor to reach the doors leading to the back garden. There was a spot Philippe would take him in the gardens near the koi ponds. Maybe he was there. And if not, that was the closest option for where Asher knew Philippe might go. Out of time. Time!
No!
Time!
What the flip?
I know. I was like, there's not much to read, so didn't get very far. But hey, I love this. Like, I'm going to finish this. This is something that I feel like maybe a good, what do they call them? Cookies. No. What does Tiffany call them? On your newsletter. Biscuits. Buttermilk biscuits. No. What do we call them?
I don't know.
Like, when you give people something so they come and sign up for your newsletter. Cookies? A lead?
Lead magnet?
Oh, good. Lead magnet. Let's go with that. I feel like Tiffany called it some kind of food, and I got really big into it. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Appetizer?
I see. Yeah, right. Exactly. Some mozzarella sticks. I'll have to ask her next time I see her. I know. Do you like how I went? But I know Katie picked up it. Cookies, buttermilk biscuit. I know. It was just where my mind goes.
So Victoria said Cinderella tellings are their favorite.
Ah.
No, I need more.
Me too. I need more time.
Is Felipe at the koi pond?
No.
I need to know.
I want them to chase each other around until the last second.
Yes, send yours.
See, there she says, Tiffany.
A freebie.
A freebie, yes.
A cookie or a lead magnet. Okay.
A buttermilk biscuit. That's what I'm going to start calling mine. In the newsletters, I'm going to tell people, welcome to my buttermilk biscuit. Well, let's see what we got from Katie Ann and Shawnee.
Okay. Aunt Josephine died young. Lucy hadn't known her. She hadn't been born yet, but she knew the story well. She had carved the story into the grooves of her mind, traced it into her skin with her fingertips as her mother told the story in her low, lilting timbre. Even long after she knew all the rules and realities of their family's curse, she still listened in the shadows of her siblings' doors as her mother spun the story into more fantastical heights. Lucy swirls her fingers over the inside of her wrist now, across the cursive name that she's known since she was 6, and it appeared in a blaze of fiery pain. It is quite quiet in the living room, the plush rugs keeping the cold wood floor from unsuspecting toes. But it also muffled the noise from the other rooms in the house. Her brother playing cards in the den, ties loosened from around their necks, and no care in the world. They still have 2 years. Her mother is preparing the kettle in the kitchen. Her father is smoking a cigarette on the porch, tired from a night of hosting. Bitter jealousy sinks her talons into Lucy's stomach, warping the giddy excitement she should be feeling into something ugly and cold. She shouldn't resent her brothers for being born brothers. She should want to resent the great-great-great-grandmother who went and got her entire feminine bloodline cursed. But what she really wants is to be anywhere but in this oppressive quiet. It hammers against her ears and allows her misgivings to rise to the surface. What if I don't fall in love by my 20th birthday? Her mother's smile had been sickly sweet, too much chocolate drizzled over whipped cream. Lucy's stomach ached just looking at her mother. Don't worry, my precious girl. Lucy shakes out her hands and looks at the clock. It doesn't tick, but the hands move anyway. 6 minutes and 34 seconds. Lucy touches the clock face, smudges her fingerprints on the glass. She's about to lift the edge of her dress to try and clean it when her mother's heels click on the floor outside the living room. Lucy spins around a moment before the clicks stop and her mother enters the room, her sound muffled by the rugs. She carries the tray in her hands, the same sick smile on her mouth. I've sent for the boy, she says as she sets down the tray on the back of the couch. 2 cups sit on it. No kettle in sight. No milk, no sugar, only dark steaming liquid void of actual tea. Take these, the one with the chipped handle for him. Lucy swallows and reaches for the cup with shaking hands. Don't be nervous, sweetling. It has worked for all of us, she says. As always, her mother misinterprets her nerves. Lucy nods. I believe you, she says, putting down the cups as fast as she can. Her mother leaves without another word, the sound of her heels retreating. Lucy counts the moments until she hears the tap of dress shoes, when she turns to find the boy she is meant to confess her love for. Reed's smile is sweet. No teeth, which she had once told him were like a bunny's, but his lips still turn up at the corners and revealed his dimples. His hair is messy from his fingers running through it, and his temples are sweaty from a night of dancing. Somehow, his mother has wrinkled him into his suit jacket again, even though he's surely still hot. Happy birthday, Lucille, Reed says, shyly holding out his hand. A navy velvet box sits in his palm. Taken aback, Lucy takes the box. No one had gotten her a present. It wasn't technically her birthday yet. Not for another 16 minutes and 3 seconds. You cannot simply love them enough. They must love you too. Lucy thinks she could, given enough time, love Reed. She likes him. Enough to invite him here tonight, even though it makes her feel sick. Perhaps she would love him one day. She opens the box to find a locket nestled in the velvet. It's silvery and etched with elaborate filigree. Thank you, she says flatly. She sees his smile falter out of the corner of her eye as she slides her thumb across the latch. The face flips open, a lullaby spilling out of it. Portraits of them in a clumsy hand sit on either side, perhaps both drawn by Reed. Lucy turns away, eyes prickling. She sets the locket down, the music still whispering through the air. The teacups sit, steaming and non-threatening, on the fireplace mantel next to the clock. 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Drink with me, Lucy says bluntly, suddenly nervous as she twists around both cups in her hand. Reed, to his credit, doesn't even blink. He simply takes the cup Lucy offers him with fumbling hands. A drop splashes on her wrist and she winces. It's still hot. Reed cradles her fingers. Are you okay? He asks, brows coming together with concern. Lucy shakes her head and lurches forward, kissing him suddenly. It isn't graceful, and the bunny teeth snag on her lip as he gasps. She slaps the teacup out of his hand, and it doesn't shatter in the rugs. The love potion sizzles on the fluff. The silent clock strikes midnight and shakes, reverberating with the first chime that spells Lucy's death. She closes her eyes, the ringing in her ears deafening. There is no living room, no Reed, no one.
Holy moly, Katie Ann. Brava. Oh, wowza. Oh wow, that was really good. Katie Ann. Okay, let's give some feedback. Let me go back and Labyrinth, that still hasn't come through, but I've got Mama Maggie's to read. Here's what we'll do.
Almost 1,000 words, Katie Ann. How the heck?
How did you write all those words, Katie Ann? Go, go, go. Way to go. I'm going to throw up some comments. Labyrinth, try sending it to Laura and see if that'll go through. And just make sure it's not something weird, some weird setting I have on my box. Mama Maggie says, oh no. Damn, I know. That was a full and complete story. Katie Ann crushed it. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Snaps. How did you write all those words, ma'am? Like dictation? That was crazy. Fast typing. Okay. That doesn't matter. Like you nailed it. Mm-hmm. Look at all that love. Okay, I'm going to read Mama Maggie's, and then I think Labyrinth is trying to send through to you, Laura. So see if it comes through an instant for you. It wasn't coming through for me. Oh, clap hands, wash hands. We knew what you meant. We'll get it. Don't worry. All right, here we go. I'm going to read Mama Maggie's called Gargoyle Kiss. Running barefoot through the park, he panted. His stone-cold feet felt like they were cracking under the relentless pounding of his running gait. He was almost this. A turn down the avenue and across the boulevard. In the bitterly cold air, petrifying hands pawed at the converted cathedral doors. They were locked. He stumbled backward into the street awkwardly, his heavy legs trembling with effort to drag his feet. Above the city traffic cacophony, the bells tolled midnight. Overhead, he saw flapping wings as fine sand drifted down like snow. Vincenzo, I love you, help me, he screamed, but drawing in the breath to get the volume he needed for a second shout failed. Flesh became stiff and pale as marble as he reached skyward for his lover. A horn blared as a trash truck slammed on the brakes too late to stop. It crashed into his. Shattered pieces of stone lay in the roadway as the driver got out cursing. Every damn new moon, some idiot sculptor leaves one of these things in front of the sculptor's plaza. As they gathized the pieces, one of the can men agreed, adding, why can't rich people leave normal things like flowers on each other's stoops? Stone orbs looked down as a clawed hand rested on his shoulder. Guess he wasn't the one Ithis. Maybe next time. With all the romance novel fascination with monster mates, one of us is bound to get lucky and break the curse. Vincenzo, nodding like he agreed. But he had known the truth since he met a young man named David and stolen his heart from a witch in 1501. He had been called Michelangelo then, but that was before he became a gargoyle, and before the curse of the gargoyle's kiss. He wasn't the only cursed one, and midnight was the moment of truth. Mama Maggie, way to go. Again, full and complete story. Kind of love the idea of that. Like, wouldn't it be awful to be a stone figure and see like the Mack truck coming at you, to know that like you're going to be a million pieces soon?
Yeah.
That'd be awful. I have to do a story for Ricky one night and scare him with that.
All right, I got the Google Doc.
Oh, you got it. Wonderful. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Our last story so far. Go forth.
Okay. In an alternate universe long, long ago, a prince of this alternate sought a princess of his own for his dark kingdom of, we'll think of the name late, longing for someone to rule with. Only no one in his universe ever seemed to fit the bill, as they say. So seeking out the one who all thought was a powerful sorcerer could open a portal to another world where the king could bring across the one whose foot will fit the darkened lava glass shoe. Once they decided she was the one, the king sent his guards through to retrieve her while forever hopeful the one he claimed as Vinderella was truly the one, and to the king's delight she was as the shoe placed on her foot felt fit like an obsidian glove. Only one problem. She fought tooth and nail the guards as they activated their scepters to trigger the great darkened vortex to cross over. Soon as they were through it, King Dranko stood there looking the slightly disheveled woman over, who's still in her dark burgundy jogging attire. She continued to fight as the king instructed them to take her to a chamber and have the servants clean her up for the party that is to happen that evening. The servants were nicer than the guards to her as they prepared for the evening's party, dressing Vinderella in the finest, purest velvet, silk, dark rose ballroom gown anyone in the kingdom's ever seen. It's not until the guard approached to escort her to the ballroom where the king awaited her that they'd even acknowledged her in the attempts at small talk. He warned her that one false word could send her to the gallows if she protested in front of the king again. Not out of malice, but to save her own skin, and that the one who was truly Vinderella had recently vanished without even a word to the king, sent him into a fury in search for her. Unfortunately, it's also meant taking this to the extreme as to bring you to our side world. Yes, it is always a violet midnight blue skies day, and night with the moon shining mostly. She willfully dances with the king throughout the evening, converses with the evil stepmother and sisters of the one who is the real Vinderella, till time of the hour of midnight is approaching fast, so the one must be on their best behavior. But after all bets are off, when the rival factions of the evil stepmother and sisters and the king himself turn into something so strange, so hideous, then one cannot look at it directly without wincing. I attempted to break free, only being able to with the aid of one of the guards, where as soon as I'm free, raced as fast as I can to another awaiting guard who holds a scepter and is willing to provide safe passage back through it long before the king reached our location, where I landed on flat on my ass. Finally, after a few minutes, I'd made it through the portal and destroyed it as instructed on my side.
Wow, I like that. Also dark. I'm glad we got all the like, you know, angsty, death, murder, impending doom out of the way early. Since that goes,
I am getting Anna the link.
Oh yay! You know what I mean? Like last time, I feel like we left people with a with a sad Sad ending. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Here's your happily never.
Happily never after.
Oh, sorry, it was a shit day. I feel extra bad because, like I said, I just did all the things I wanted to do. Read and napped, cuddled the dog. Pretty great day. Yeah. Well, what are we thinking? Do we want to preview our next? Let's see. What time is it? We're at 8:30, so we're an hour in. What do you think? Do you think we can get through 2 more, or do we want to do 1 and do a little longer writing time?
Probably one with a longer writing time.
Me too. Can we try the new one?
Sure.
You shouldn't have previewed it for me because I was like, do that one and save the other one. I feel like we always use a new one and bank one of the old ones, which always works out. Oh, sorry you were sick all week. Bummer, bummer. 33 on the timer. Is that your request on the timer?
Hello, you got an echo.
Oh no, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Hi, friend. That's
Hello, sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm
that
Will.
profile photo cracks me up every time.
Oh, thank you. Am I still echoing?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'll be back.
Okay.
Sorry, I've ruined everything.
You have not. There are no rules here. Like Arizona.
Arizona or Alabama?
Oh, both. Wicked cold hit me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Anna! Oh, the echo. Yes. We'll get it figured out.
You say flickered out?
Yeah.
I love it.
We'll figure it out. It is lawless land here. I mean, it is a romance prompt, and we started with all the happily never after stories. So,
Mine ended in a kiss.
I know. Yeah, that's true. Yours had a. I thought it was going to be a sad ending.
There was body horror, but it ended in a kiss.
But it turned out okay. So, did the body horror revert?
Yes.
Okay.
Her skin zipped.
Okay, I'm here. Is it good?
Hooray!
You're here.
Yay! Okay, thank you. Sorry for jumping in, but yeah.
No, we're so glad to have you.
Thanks. Should I just read?
Yeah. Well, do you want to intro and tell everybody how wonderful you are? We know, but they know.
Sure. I'm Anna. I write things. I have a few things that you can read if you want to. Out in various journals. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. This is genuinely just so fun and creative. I feel like I've just been doing my thesis so much, and I'm like, no, I want to write about sad people being sad and in love.
Exactly. We're good for that.
Yes. Okay. I'll just read it.
Take it away.
Thanks. Okay. The earth is soft beneath his bare feet, spongy and cool and inviting. He imagines sometimes that there are roots boring down into it from the bottom of his legs, tough grounding things that drink in nutrients from below and spread throughout his body with a vibrancy he hasn't felt in years. If he had roots, he thinks, he might have a better reason for the whole thing, the house, the connection, the haunting. The flowers around him have seen better days, bright roses overgrown with weeds, thorns and dark leaves overlapping the trellises with a vengeance he understands all too well. It's been years since he's seen them in the daylight, and anyway, there are some things that even the sun can't save. Sam is exactly where he expects when he reaches the garden's edge, perched on the edge of an old flower bed, dirt flecked across the toes of his boots, the red glow of a cigarette dangling from his fingers. He swallows down the acidic taste that rises at the back of his throat at the sight of him. It's hunger, or something similar enough to be indistinguishable. He needs a raw nerve, stripped and throbbing. Sam glances up as he approaches, and he knows he's been silent, but somehow Sam always manages to hear. It's something that might have bothered him before, in the first few years of this, when he still cried through the gnawing in his stomach as his nails turned red with blood and then brown from the dirt, burying the evidence until the next year rolled around. It's been long enough now that he thought he was done with feelings like this, the way Sam smiled at him when their eyes met, gentle and welcoming. I thought you might have forgotten, Sam says now. He tilts his head up, and his profile is caught briefly in the moonlight, strong jaw and high cheekbones. He can't quite bring himself to smile back as he comes to a stop. Bare footprints trail off into the dirt behind him, step after step leading back towards the dark shape of the manor house in the distance. I didn't forget, he says, simply. His hands twist involuntarily at his sides, nails digging into his palms. Good. Sam flicks ash from his cigarette into the dirt, and he feels its particles below his feet, burning brightly for a moment before it cools again. That's good. There's a moment of silence then that stretches out between them, like the thick waves of night itself. He reminds himself to breathe, in and out, the soft rhythm of it. I need to tell you something, he starts to say, just as Sam speaks behind him. Will you sit down? And all of a sudden he can't bring himself to sit, to touch any more of the God's cursed dirt than he has to, where the foundations of the house reach for him, cling tighter than any roots. Is something wrong? Sam's voice is gentle now, with a hint of concern, and he's pacing away from Sam and back, tingling in his hands and cold around the edges of his feet. No, he says, quick and instinctual. Then, I just feel awful about this whole thing. About us. Sam is on his feet now, cigarette slipped from his fingers to the dirt below, and he feels it burning, ash in the dirt, warmth curling up from his toes to his ankles. Yes, he says, but that's not what he means entirely. There's so much more to it than he has the time for. No, not about us. There's a hand on his arm, warm like ash, and Sam's voice is closer. Tell me. He turns, finds arms ready and waiting, catching him up as he trembles. He curls fingers into the bottom of Sam's shirt. He's not clinging, but it's a close thing. You can't be here, he says, soft, into the small space between them. Sam shakes his head, and he feels the ends of his hair tickle his cheek. But I am here, he says, like he's trying to lure a scared animal out of hiding. I'll be here for you. No, he should pull away. He should. No, you don't understand. The hunger is back, hard and acidic in his throat, the foundations pulling at him as he fights, a fish caught on a hook, endlessly reeled back in. I love you. Oh, guys.
Goals.
Oh.
Okay. I love Hunt Night. We love you for it. Anna's an amazing writer. No.
JC is an amazing.
He is.
Aww.
The pros.
Thanks, guys.
That true. I know. Oh my God, the prose language is so visceral.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much, guys. Also, Katie, and you're amazing. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh.
Yes. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Where can we find you? I need to read your stuff.
Oh my God, thank you. I have pieces out in New Words Press and Wingless Journal publication, Wingless something publications. I have a piece coming out in Overland Journal next month, so very, very soon. There's a couple more I can put somewhere, but yeah.
Yeah, link us. Do you have a
Thank
wrench?
you.
I don't have my YouTube up. Are you wrenched? Can you drop things?
Maybe.
Hold.
I am, yes. I can put some. But yeah, thank you guys.
Listen.
Thanks for listening.
Share links. Share links. No, we love you. Come back. Come back. This is another good prompt. So if this one inspires you, come right back.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.
That was so good. I know. I know. I know.
Put me to shame.
Don't bite the one who loves you.
Exactly.
I mean, it depends on how much you love them, I guess. Okay. Yes, bawling. I know. Love.
So good.
That was great. So
Wow.
we've got about an hour and 15. We've got a heck of a last prompt. Boom. There's an internet rumor going around that if you do a certain ritual with any book and call out one of the characters' names, they will appear. Tonight, you decide to put it to the test.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, internet rumor going around that if you do a certain ritual with any book and call out one of the characters' names, they will appear. Tonight, you decide to put it to the test. They're not silly, they're beautiful.
Should we do like a 35?
Yes, I need a little more time to figure out where I'm going. So like this is what I didn't think through. I should have thought through like what character would I bring to life? Didn't even think of that.
Are you going to make up the books so it's not fan fiction?
Oh, I didn't even think of that. No, I was.
Or are you going to make it public domain, or are you going to make it fan fiction?
I was going to straight up write probably public domain fan fiction. I don't know. I was gonna take a character and write a story, bringing that, but yeah, I guess that would be someone else's character, so I can't really do that. Do I have enough time to create a fake character? I'll try.
Because like you
Plot
could bring out
twist.
Mr. Darcy.
You didn't realize your well, I was thinking of one of my favorite characters that I've always like wanted to is not romance at all, but Dorian Gray. Like I was gonna I've always had a weird sexualization of Dorian Gray, so I was like I would love to play with that character. Figuratively and yeah. You didn't realize your brother switched your cover with his serial killer of the same name story to hide what he is reading from your mom. And you actually summon a killer.
Oh
Oh, Maggie, write it. Write fanfic about one of Laura's characters.
no! Oh dear.
I mean, I could. Or I could pull one of the kids out of Seeds of Doubt. No, too much. I know Dorian Gray was what I was thinking. Then yeah, that is someone else's. Yeah, I don't know why. Dorian Gray. What is it about Dorian Gray? Okay. So
What about somebody from Interview with a Vampire?
Oh, Lestat.
Hi, Gwenna.
Hi, Gwenna. Squish a baby for me. Preferably
Your chubby
yours.
face.
Preferably yours and not someone else's. Oh, we love you.
Bye.
Good night, Mama Maggie. Good to see you. Okay, so internet rumor going around. We're looking for some time. We're thinking 35 minutes. Is that what you said?
35. Yeah.
Yes, I think this is. Yes, I think you're a hundy right on that one. Love Mama Maggie.
Yeah.
All right, 35 minutes on the clock. Are we ready?
Ready.
All right, let's do it. We'll see y'all in 35 minutes. Let's see what you write.
Knock her socks off. But I'm not wearing socks.
Me either. No socks to be had. Knock our feet off. Damn you, timer. Damn you.
No.
Oh, did you not finish either?
No, not that time.
I didn't either. I'm gonna blame the keyboard, but it was me. Well, how'd it go? How do you feel about your story? Where'd you take it?
It's melancholy, man. I got 657 words. And Anna sent me a fan fiction of my Crimson Strings, and I died laughing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I'll read that one. I won't make you read that one. I'll read it.
No, did she send it to you too?
No. I assumed it would be spicy.
No, it's a little vignette. It's hilarious.
Love it. Yeah, no, I did not finish either. But I really like this idea too. It's like, oh, I'm gonna have to play with this idea as well. Labyrinth finished? Yes.
Nice.
Don't have to read it out loud. Okay. Such a fever dream for that. Yeah. Deirdre tried, but then got a migraine trying. I'm so sorry. Sleep well, friend. I'm sorry.
We'll sleep. Drink some water.
Have you on soon. Kat came through. Hey, Kat. Long time no see. How are you, friend? Thanks for the view time. Appreciate it. Hope you're well. I mean, you can if you want to. Well, that's okay. I shouldn't be reading serious literature. Okay, so y'all know how this works. If you wrote to the timer, send it to @Barrett_Laurie at Instagram, or to Laura Nettles at nettles.animation at Instagram. Or if you want to join us, we will shoot you a link and you can come up on here with us and read your story. Yeah. Well, you wrote 1,500 words.
Holy smokes.
Did you write that many words, Katie Ann? Like, how? I need whatever you got that makes that happen. Nailed it, Katie Ann. Let's see. So you read first last time, right, Laura? Do you want me to read first this time?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go first, set the bar low, and then you guys can come in after me and really improve upon my mediocreness, my mediocrity. Katie says, I wish I knew. I wish I knew too. It was a great prompt. And you sent it to me. Okay, cool. Well, then after Laura reads, I shall read it. If anyone wants to join us, you know how it works. Hit us up in either of our inboxes or we'll send you a link. Here we go. TikTok. All these silly rumors start and end on TikTok. How sad and lonely was Tyson to be doom scrolling TikTok at 3 a.m. looking for the ritual that could bring any character to life. After the third search for bring character to life ritual yielded an endless stream of literature cosplay videos, Tyson decided this would have to be good enough. After the third Shadow and Bone video, he felt his eyelids getting heavy, and he hoped that sleep would soon welcome him in its elusive embrace. His phone slipped down from his grasp, and he jolted forward. How long had he been out? You're quite striking when you sleep, save for the snoring, said the most attractive man Tyson had ever laid eyes on sitting at the other end of his sofa. Who the fuck are you and how did you get in here? The young man stood from his perch on the couch and straightened his vest before replying, I'm DG Lova 9, and if I knew how I got here, I wouldn't still be here, especially since I'm not quite sure where here is. Tyson looked down at his phone, his face unlocking the screensaver and revealing the last video he had queued up on TikTok. The user was DG Lova 9, while the man in the video was wearing an identical outfit and slightly resembled the young man standing before him. He was much older and worse for wear. Here is Ohio, Dayton to be exact, but you can't be DG Lova 9 because he's much older than you. What are you talking about? He asked as he grabbed my phone from my hand. The clip must have played through 3 or 4 times before he looked up at me, dumbfounded, and asked, How did you do this? I mean, how is this possible? I still wasn't quite sure what made him think I had done anything. I'm a middle-aged single accountant that can't keep a goldfish alive, let alone summon the hottest Dorian Gray cosplayer on TikTok. I really don't think I did this, but I'll help you figure out what did happen and how to turn it back. He let out a laugh that filled the room and moved closer until I could smell mint and ginger on his breath. He said anything about Who said anything about turning anything back? My greatest wish has come true somehow, some way, and now I'd better make the most of it. Tyson hadn't noticed how intense DG's eyes were, cobalt with hints of yellow that seemed to take hold of Tyson and pull him ever deeper into DG's soul. DG wrapped his hand behind Tyson's neck and pulled him in until their lips collided in an explosion of passion Tyson hadn't felt before. The jolt of electricity, and then I ran out of time.
What the flip?
Ohio. It all happens in Ohio. Don't you know?
Nice.
Yeah, I know. That's fun. That one I'm going to have to finish because I had a good time with that. But would that get us in trouble? Like, or is DG old enough that you can, like, would it be fan fiction or would it be, I don't know.
I don't know if it's public domain yet.
I don't know how old it has to be. 150?
Something like that.
Let me check while you're reading.
Okay, here's mine.
Yay!
Warning, it gets melancholy.
Oh.
So it's like Bloody Mary? I ask in exasperation. Ned shakes his head. Not quite. Rumor is, if you do the ritual with the book and call out the character's name, they will physically appear until sunrise. You get one night with the character. So you can, like, summon Jesus and ask him questions until morning? I hypothesize. I guess, but it wouldn't be the real one, just the way he was portrayed in the book. My mind whirs. So you can only get fictional answers from them. Exactly, he shrugs. Still sounds like fun, though. Good luck getting those ingredients, though, I scoff. Seems nearly impossible on purpose, so it can't be debunked. Yeah, well, see you later. Ned leaves my college dorm, going back to the men's building. I sit on the edge of my pancake mattress and go over the ritual in my head. The captured sun, the seed of weeping nature, and a silent voice crying for love. Actually, now that I think about it, I can procure all of those tonight. But who would I summon? A pang hits my heart. Someone who tells fantasies. Like they love me. Of course. Dashing outside, I run to the weeping willow and grab a seed off a drooping branch. The sun is threatening low in the sky, so I push my feet faster as I get back to my dorm room. A cup. There! I grab my ghost mug, sending its contents of pens and pencils scattering across my desk. As carefully as I can, I align it on the windowsill and step back. The sun breaches the horizon, and the rim of the mug sinking into its depths. Metaphorically, but oh well. At least there's this. At last, there was the silent voice. I place the seed into the mug in the center of the floor on top of my personal copy of that book, then face it. With well-practiced hands, I sign the same message I did to my deaf mother before she left our family. Emphatic gestures declaring my love and wish for it to be reciprocated. My heart cracks as I plead again. This had better work, or I'll spend the night in tears. Christian, I call. Christian West. Holding my breath, I try to keep my hopes from rising too high, but it wafts up through my shaking fingers towards my heart. My eyes close, tears threatening to fall. I can't even get a fictional character to love me. A finger slides along my jawline, thumb coming to rest on my chin. Darling, why do you cry? Asks a voice in the same timbre that I had imagined in my 2 a.m. readings. My wet eyes open, and there he is. Christian? Eve, he says reverently. You know me? I ask, voice trembling. Of course. I've watched you through the pages, yearning to embrace you and wipe away the sorrow between your brows, to kiss your lips and hold you dear. May I hug you? He asks. I can't believe it. My favorite character. The one side character who dies tragically in chapter 17, having never known love. The one who also had their mother walk out on them. The man I've bawled over is here, comforting me. I lean in, wrapping my arms around him. He smells of leather and mountain air, of adventures and distant lands. Christian, I whisper into his chest. His arms are secure around me, pressing my cracked pieces back together. His heartbeat is the glue. We only have 10 hours, he says into my hair. At morning light, I will dissolve back into the pages. What is your wish for the night? Just hold me for now, I request. Do you remember that song your older sister used to sing for you? He hums, chest vibrating. Would you like me to sing it to you? I nod, clutching him close. And that's all I got.
Heartbreaking.
Ah!
I've watched you through the pages. I love that so much. Such a great line. There was one more. Katie Ann pointed out, like they love me. Oh my God, I'm crying. Laura. Yeah. Who needs love? It all turns to shit anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Says the married one.
I know. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, honey. Laura, I'm going to need you to finish that. That's kind of a theme. That was so good. I know. You're killing me. I need to know what happens. Why do you do it?
I don't know.
So, okay, friends, if you want to read to this prompt, shoot it over to either of us on Insta. Labyrinth, yours hasn't come through to me, so you may have to try. I know. Ricky cries a single tear in the background. Really, Ricky's like, I'm tired of doing your laundry. So he's like, you're on your own.
Wash your clothes with your own tears.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you want to join us, hit us up on Instagram. Labyrinth, maybe try it to Laura again, since for whatever reason it's not coming through to me. I don't know why. And then if anybody else wants, you know how to join us. Wow, that was, yeah. That left me, yeah. Doing my laundry for shiz. I do the grocery shopping and cooking. Like we've just split up the rule, like the things. And he was horrified that I took an entire basket of laundry and just dumped it in and like didn't separate it and do all the things he does with it. And so I was like, if you're going to be horrified, just go ahead and do it then. And he did. And so we just left it that way. So marriage is fun that way. Clicky, that's where I also put it. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Yeah, marriage is a weird dance. I also do like the outdoor stuff and he does the trash. So it's like, you know, we just divide and conquer. Oh no, you do blankets in bed. I'll read. The top story. Okay, let me look. It didn't come to me, Labyrinth.
It's the same link as before.
Oh, it's the same link. I didn't get the link. So maybe try it to Laura.
I have it.
Oh, you've got it. Well, then read. Sorry, friend.
Okay.
Looking over you. Sorry.
Okay. I just had to try it. Boy, this one's for the worst book, and this one's for the record book of the worst mistakes I'll ever make. Also, the worst mistake is ever trying some internet fad. Conjure up your own character in your book for a night, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Well, the net says a lot, so not everything should be tried. Especially if you conjure up one of your own creations by design. Creatures by design. Never try to write a being that's a cross between Dracula the vampire and a moth. I've already had to put this guy out twice, and it's only been 15 minutes since I did the damn thing. Midnight schmidnight. This is for the birds. I'd rather be listening to fingernails on a chalkboard right now than him screeching like a banshee every time the Prince of Darkness's ass runs into the flame of my candle like the princess of burnt popovers. Anyhow, I keep trying to gain his attention only to quickly lose patience after another 15 or so minutes. Where I grabbed his dark one's cape, trying to get him to pay more attention to me and less on the lights. He stood at attention suddenly. Oh wow, not a smart move there, buddy. I thought as Mr. Dracula turned slowly, his chocolate eyes snarled like a pit bull on speed towards me. Who knew vampire eyeballs could snarl? Anyone? Yeah, I didn't think anyone really knew, and sure as hell wished I'd never found out. Either way, it is the biggest mistake of my life when he stood. Oh my gosh. When as soon as he approached me, his fangs out as his dark eyes became more manic looking. I ran at the last second, all throughout his dark and spooky house, where as soon as I'd found a hiding place, I ran into the family. Now having serious second thoughts, I bolted through the broken down door pieces into another room as I am now screaming the enchanted spell at the top of my lungs. When suddenly, as the clock strikes the time of sunrise, they crumbled fully into dust. I survived this one barely. I will never try another internet hex fad ever again on worldwidemonsters.com. Be careful of what does and does not lurk within the shadows of even the firelight, as you never know what kind of monsters you'll meet. Ta-da!
I muted like an amateur. You nailed it! Beginning, middle, and end.
A moth pyre.
Moth fire. You were in a mood, but it's good. It was a good mood. It produced a heck of a story. No, none of us are judging grammar and punctuation. Trust and believe. Laura's will be perfect, but the rest of us, no.
Katie's was perfect.
Katie's, see, but you guys are used to writing fast. Like, I did like it as well. Thoroughly enjoyed. All right, do you have Katie too?
No.
I have Katie. Let me get it. I shall read it. All right. Are you ready?
Born ready.
Haha.
You get the long one.
I know. I'm going to make this bigger because Barrett is old and I cannot read.
Well, you did have a birthday.
I know. Oh, wait, here we go. 125. That's good. Here we go. And I'm on a giant screen, which is like, okay. This is the dumbest thing we've ever done, Pierre says, his voice slurring from the 3 glasses of wine they'd had over dinner. Edgar shakes his head before Pierre can even finish his sentence, cutting into Pierre's sentence in the way he knows Pierre hates. No. Remember that time you made out with the fountain soldier? He can't help but laugh halfway through his statement, and he clutches his stomach. It isn't even that funny, but the memory of Pierre, his suave Pierre, climbing gracelessly up the slippery hide of a horse and banging his knee on the knob of the saddle to sloppily make out with granite that was probably smeared with bird shit. His Pierre was fearless like that, always doing the dare with a grin on his plush red mouth, blue eyes sparkling with the challenge. No, not his Pierre. Not anymore. That's part of why Edgar is doing this. 1, because it will be funny. And 2, because he wants an excuse to stay near Pierre, to have those icy eyes melt for a moment and maybe burn with something other than contempt. Shut the fuck up, Pierre mutters. He isn't looking at Edgar, but his cheeks are flushed a lovely rose color. Darker now from embarrassment, rather than just the high points of pink from the wine. Edgar's still laughing, and Pierre shoves him hard. Edgar stumbles sideways, back hitting the bookshelf, and it sways, but doesn't topple into the one behind it in a very expensive and catastrophic game of dominoes. Which book are you picking? Edgar asks, running his fingers across the spines. He stays, leaning against the shelf, one digging into his lower back. Pierre shakes his head. Nah, you won't catch me doing this. You were fun once, Edgar says. He's always too close to melancholy when he drinks, easily tipping into it. Pierre, oddly, is the opposite, always falling into joy and laughter and debauchery. Perhaps that's why they could never click in the way Edgar wanted. Pierre's eyes landed on him, heavy and searching. Edgar's shoulders rise and cave forward, tipping his chest inward. Pierre always sees him for exactly who he is, as if he's clear glass rather than opaque. Others, namely random girlfriends, always say Edgar is like Blackstone, a language that hasn't been deciphered yet, but Pierre has always been a flawless translator. Bitter doesn't suit you, Pierre spits out, spinning on his heel, stalking down the aisle and disappearing down another. Edgar can't catch his breath. It is stuck in his throat. He pushes off the shelf with more ease than he feels and goes on autopilot to the right section. The book is in the children's section, a popular book that his sister's kids love. He bought it for them last year for Christmas, and he hopes this library has it. Pierre finds him again with his children's book, The Wishmaker, in his hands. Edgar is vaguely aware that his whole body is vibrating as if this is actually going to work. It feels a little too much like hope. He knows he'll probably have to buy another copy of this book for Sabrina. Guilt coils in his stomach. She gave him a key so he could study in peace after the library closed, and here he is, fucking around with a stupid internet ritual with his former best friend in hopes of starting... what? Edgar can't remember. Pierre snorts at his choice, and Edgar clutches the book to his chest. You don't want wishes? Edgar asks, and Pierre looks up at him again. If Edgar is clear glass to Pierre, then Pierre is a frosted pane. Unreadable. Yet, for a moment, when Pierre hesitates and doesn't immediately dig into Edgar with a joke, he can almost hang on to his hope. Let's get this over with, Pierre says, looping his arm through Edgar's and dragging him to one of the aisles. He sits down crisscross, even in his incredibly tight jeans. The light is weak and dusky, the antique bulbs flickering, but there's enough light to read the words of the wishmaker, enough to illuminate the threads of gold in Pierre's light brown hair. Pierre unlocks his phone and scrolls through the instructions he found on an Instagram post. They say it better work with a talisman of power. Edgar reaches beneath his sweater and pulls out a necklace. Would this work? He asks, rubbing his thumb across the smooth gold surface of the old cross. He isn't even religious anymore. Pierre's jaw clenches and a muscle jumps at his temple. Is that it? Is that? He asks, and Edgar breathes in shakily. Yeah, it's his. He unclasps it and lays it on the scratchy carpet. They haven't talked about Anthony since his death. Sometimes, when Edgar wants to torture himself, he imagines their lives if Anthony's car hadn't caught the icy bridge, if he'd taken a different route to her house, if he hadn't been dating that girl at all. Pierre makes a move as if he's going to touch the cross, but he jerks back as if he's been burned. Okay, tear out the page where the character first appears, he says, his face illuminated by the glow of his phone. Edgar does, and he smooths the page next to the cross. The cartoon yellow genie is nothing more than a puff of smoke out of the lantern. Okay, repeat these words, Pierre says. I call upon, insert character name, to rise from the pages of this book and anchor thyself to the, fuck this is dumb, talisman presented for you. Edgar, despite feeling incredibly silly, does as he's told. He keeps Pierre's commentary out of it, not wanting to disrespect the ritual, by making fun of it. Nothing happens. He touches the cross and straightens it next to the page. He repeats the words again. It's not going to work, Pierre says, leaning back on his hands. Edgar ignores him and tries twice more. Somewhere a clock strikes 2 a.m., and Edgar feels the bubbly effect of the wine tapering off. He stares down at the cross and the ripped-out page of the children's book. Maybe I should have just found a lamp, Edgar says, lamely trying for a joke. Pierre doesn't laugh, but he doesn't scoff either. What 3 wishes would you want? Pierre asks, grabbing the book and flipping through the pages of the Wishmaker. They make a soft whooshing sound as he does it. $1 million, Edgar says bluntly. Pierre rolls his eyes. Be serious and true. Maybe that's why the ritual didn't work. You're not being sincere. Pierre's gaze returns to him, challenging and surprisingly bright. Edgar swallows. I'd want him back, Edgar says, absently picking up the cross and brushing his thumb across the edges. They aren't sharp, but he thinks they might be able to cut him still. I'd want you to forgive me. What? Pierre's voice is shrill and high. Forget it, Edgar says, already getting to his feet. But Pierre's fingers curl around his wrist and yank him back. He sits sharply, and his tailbone lights up with pain. But it's all forgotten because Pierre is so close, and he's panting right into Edgar's face, right across his cheekbone. Forgive you for what? Pierre's eyes are wild, flicking back and forth over Edgar's gaze as if he's searching for the truth, trying to get the joke. But there is no joke. You hate me. I must have done something, Edgar says, trying to shrink away from Pierre. He's always been taller, bigger. Now he feels so small under the heat of Pierre's gaze. I've never hated you. You're the one who pushed me away. Pierre's nails dig into his skin, pinpricks of grounding pain. Edgar swallows. You want to know why my 3rd wish? Pierre nods slower so as not to break Edgar's gaze. It's as if Pierre thinks that if Edgar breaks his gaze, he'll be able to lie. But he's never been able to lie. Not to Pierre. For you to kiss me. Pierre's mouth is on his, bruising and demanding. It's harsh and quick and completely unsubtle. And for the first time since they were kids, Edgar can see Pierre. See how wanting he is. How rare he is. How much he needs Edgar to see him for the first time in years. Edgar tangles his fingers in Pierre's hair and tilts into Pierre. He drags Pierre back a little. He makes a little whimpering noise in the back of his throat that sends a strike of heat through Edgar. He makes a note of that for later, and then he kisses Pierre again, softer and more gentle than before. He tastes like wine and cheesecake. Pierre melts into him, tangles his hand into Edgar's other one. The cross presses between their palms. 2 out of 3 isn't bad, Pierre says as they break apart for air. Is this still the dumbest thing you've ever done? Edgar asks. Pierre's pupils are huge and his mouth is as red as his cheeks. Still, he manages to smirk, cocky and smug and annoyingly charming. You're a much better kisser than the statue. I'll give you that. Wasn't that great? So good. Hi, Ben. Hi. And I just saw your message, Ben, so I'll respond in the morning. Sorry. Wow, I love that. That was
amazing.
I know. Katie's so talented.
Yeah.
Hi, Ben. Katie Ann. Lord's gonna love that one. All the things. Awesome. Katie Ann, that was so good. Agree.
Exactly.
Agree. Katie Ann's talented. That was so good. We were all kind of in a vibe tonight. It was a mood.
Yeah.
I'm not sure everybody was like super romantic. I guess Katie's was at the end. But it's like, were we all feeling the love tonight, or were we all in a little bit of a, it's all terrible. Happily never after. Oh, kissing the statue. I can just see it too.
Covered in bird poop.
You're wicked good. Wicked good. Yeah, I loved that one. Did anybody else? Let me just triple check that nobody else sent me one. But I think we're good, and we got them all. Yep, looking good. This was good. I love these prompts. We got one saved for next week. We'll be back to our normal Fridays. A reminder to anybody who wants to join us as a co-host, reach out and let us know, and we'll set you up to come join us. So just reach out. We got openings. Come and visit, hang out. It'll be fun. Oh, hi. Yep, you're real quiet. Oops. Okay.
We don't bite too hard.
Yeah, true. Hey, Chunk. So yeah, come and play with us. Oh, that sounds weird. Come and hang out with us and write with us, and that will be fun. But yeah, romance prompts once a week. You know how we do, 2 to 3 depending on time. Get a guest on here. You're welcome to come up and read yours with us.
My earring just fell out and I can't find it.
Oh no.
Pumpkin, where'd you go?
Maybe it's the beginning of a ritual. Did it go into your hair?
I heard it hit the floor.
Oh. Roy?
Well, he's here now.
Find it, Roy. Find it. Yeah, so you know how this works. Friday nights, prompts, we write, typically romancy, sometimes a little sad and angsty, but all around fun. And yeah, you know where to find us. Friday nights, 7:30 to 10. Please come and join us. Write, share your stories. We love it. The hair consumed it like that one story in Tiny Shivers.
Yeah, hungry girls.
Hungry girls. Well, let's do this. How about do a little outro? Remind folks about the video tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
and then the one you put up today, which was the bullet journal, right? Flip through.
Mhm.
So check those out. I'm going to give Laura full screen. Boom.
Ah! I am Laura Nettles. I have a horror book out called Tiny Shivers. I have 4 contemporary romance short stories out on Kindle Unlimited for the Ivy and Bean series under the pen name Samantha R. Silverstone. And today I released a bullet journal flip through that is March 2021 through July, August? I don't remember. 2022. And yeah, I am releasing tomorrow a video that is 20 ways that I brainstorm and get story ideas. So
Yay!
keep
And
an
you're
eyeball
the
out.
queen of the ideas, so it's good to check it out. I am Barrett Laurie. I'm having a colonoscopy and endoscopy on Monday, so
Woot woot.
that is me. That'll be my next YouTube video. We'll be sharing my photos from that photo shoot. Just kidding. But that would be cool.
This is what my insides look like.
This is my innards.
I've only had an endoscopy.
Oh, really? I have both twice a year. So my twice a year is Monday. So I hope when I'm home Monday night, I'm gonna get to play with some of y'all writing because I'm not working on Monday. So I'm gonna have time to get on here and play with y'all. And then next Friday, we will be right back doing our thing. So reach out to us if you want to come join us. It'll be a ton of fun. And yeah, excited for your video. They're stoked.
Yay.
Why, thank you. Thank you. They're always fun. I know how to have a good time, don't I, Regina? All right. I love you all. You're wonderful. Come back and play with us soon. Check out Laura's videos, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.